So, hopefully later this week, I'll be reviewing J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness. I say hopefully, or perhaps maybe more accurately, probably, because while I have every intention of watching and reviewing that film for Escape to the Movies, there's been some issues going around about which US critics get to see it and when, with some press screenings apparently being held off until the day the film releases. Now, that's pretty rare for a major summer blockbuster, but not unheard of. After all, there's no law that says movie journalists have to be shown the movies early. It's done as a mutual courtesy. The critics need the lead time to get our columns and shows together for release day, and the studios want those things to run on release day for publicity. So sometimes if a studio thinks it's got a bad movie on their hands, or at least one that's going to be badly reviewed, they don't bother with screenings. The first G.I. Joe, for example, Paramount thought that was going to bomb, so they yanked the press screenings, which turned out not to matter. Horror movies, unless there's some prestige attached, generally don't screen either. Conversely, the reason they don't do this with every movie is that if people hear that the screenings aren't happening, they tend to assume, oh, that movie must suck. But that's not the case this time. This movie is already out in a lot of the world, and the reviews coming back from that release are so far moderate to positive for the most part, and the first movie was pretty well received as well, so what exactly are they trying to hide? Well, if I had to guess, and I would stress it would only be a guess, I'd imagine it has something to do with, the mystery box. Okay, for those of you fortunate enough to not know this or not have to know this for work, Mystery Box is the twee little nickname that J.J. Abrams uses to describe the central conceit of his creative process. It was popularized by its deployment in Abrams' own TED Talk several years ago, and as befits a TED Talk, it's basically a cutesy-poo yet irritatingly pretentious way of describing a really basic tenet of storytelling. Basically, it amounts to audiences like to be surprised, which is obviously, for the most part, entirely true. Here's the thing though, while it's obvious that Abrams is a decently talented filmmaker, he, and let's be clear here, this is not a problem that's exclusive to him these days, specifically doesn't actually seem to ever use his mystery box shtick particularly well. I can't think of a J.J. Abrams project that I liked where the execution of some big twist was the main reason that I did like it. I mean, remember Super 8? Yeah, I don't blame you, it wasn't a classic, but I did overall appreciate it. The thing is, the stuff that Super 8's marketing tried to build as this big mystery was the least interesting thing about it. All that business with the kids making their movie, that was gold. But the whole alien, conspiracy, evil version of E.T. stuff, bloated, lame, and making it into this big mystery didn't do anything for the story. It just made the marketing more interesting. And that's kind of the thing. Abrams isn't a bad filmmaker, but all this stuff about he's the next Spielberg? No, he's not. He's not even Robert Zemeckis. He's maybe like another Chris Columbus. What he definitely is, though, is a great marketer of movies. That's where the mystery box shtick seems to work the best. The ultimate off-the-rails example of this was Cloverfield, which he didn't direct but did write and produce, and his name was the big above-the-title draw because Lost was still such a big deal at the time. If you saw the first trailer for Cloverfield, you got the impression that, hey, this was just a Godzilla movie done Blair Witch style. And you know what? Okay, I haven't seen that before, I'll probably buy a ticket for that, but instead of just leaving it at, hey, we made this Blair Witch Godzilla movie, come and see it, they decided to pack on all this mystery and viral marketing. For a while, they didn't even give it a title. The entire promotion was all about, ooh, what's this? You can't imagine what this is, which kind of makes an indirect implication that the movie is going to be more than what it obviously appears to be, right? And here's how weird this got. In the first trailer, where we don't see any of the monster, a guy says, I saw it, it's alive, it's huge. But somehow, someone decided what they'd actually heard him say was, I saw it, it's a lion, it's huge. Based on that, the internet decided that the big secret had to be that Project Cloverfield was actually somehow a Voltron movie. And because Abrams and company were wholly committed to propping up the idea of secrecy for its own sake, the Voltron rumor actually persisted for a bafflingly long period of time. And then when the movie came out, one of the reigning reactions among many audiences was, wait, it's just exactly what it always looked like it was? Well, then what's the big mystery push? It's like if someone gave you a box of chocolates and acted like there was some kind of big secret about what might be inside, and then it really was just a box of chocolates. From where I sit, mystery and or surprising stuff works best when you don't know you're supposed to be expecting one. I'm as sick of M. Night Shyamalan as anybody, but I can't deny that The Sixth Sense was a good movie and that its famous twist really did knock audiences on their ass in the day. And I think a big reason why is that nobody knew they were about to be thrown a curveball. The trailers matter-of-factly presented, hey, here's a story about Bruce Willis helping this kid who sees ghosts. More recently, there was a big surprise hiding right in the middle of Iron Man 3, but that movie's marketing was all about, hey everybody, Iron Man's back and he's gonna fight this terrorist guy. People get much more surprised that way. Now, since I haven't seen Star Trek Into Darkness yet, I can't really opine on whether or not turning Abrams or anyone else's movies into pre-film viral marketing games is definitely a good track for storytelling to keep taking, but it doesn't seem to be. I mean, having a big movie come out good is almost a miracle these days. Isn't not disappointing people with your actual movie hard enough, without also nudging them toward imagining some other movie to be disappointed about not getting? That's my feelings on the matter, though admittedly, they may change. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.